gone missing for a good amount of time where people did not actually know where he was. This is actually a decent end to the story.
All rise.
Medic versus Rodriguez. This is taking place in Belgrade, Serbia. And yeah, I mean, we've got Uros Medic and Daniel Rodriguez in the main event of this thing. D-Rod, fresh out of Mexican prison and into the hearts of fight fans again everywhere here, right back like he never left perhaps, but he's going up against Mr. Killer Be Killed himself, Uros Medic.
This is an interesting one because, Daniel Rodriguez, he is a dude that is, when you talk about sneaky athleticism, he doesn't necessarily fit that build, but he has shown power in his hands. He has shown durability. And I think those two attributes, those are two good sneaky attributes to have right there. I mean, if you aren't going to go down to a Medic shot, the world looks a lot brighter. I'm expecting an initial flurry, and if Daniel Rodriguez doesn't go down, I mean, guys, I think he might be able to take this one. And I know that's crazy to think. Like, you would believe that Uros Medic is, he's training for his he wants to be a world champion. He's always ready to go 5 rounds, but he's just not. Like, that's just not his game. He goes in there and he's getting into a flurry and he's trying to knock people out. Daniel Rodriguez, I ain't never seen this dude shy away from a brawl. This dude is, he was in Mexican prison, but he was fighting like it before he went down there. So I really give him props here. Whatever he's been through, I do think that it might be a pretty big factor. Key note here, by the way, and I know this is over, a longer period of time for Daniel Rodriguez, but he has a higher significant strikes landed per minute than Uros Medic. So volume lands on Daniel Rodriguez right here, even though Uros Medic only has like a 2-minute fight time per his 16 fights.
Well, and see, that's the problem is right there. You say it's crazy to think Rodriguez is winning this fight. I don't think it's crazy at all. I think that Uros Medic makes it so it's not crazy because, like I said, he is the quintessential killer be kill fighter. I mean, like, you think Terrence McKinney is that. He is in line with Terrence McKinney, if not more so. I mean, this guy puts everything out there in round number 1, and he's always gunning, but he is also chinny guy. So, I mean, like, he can get touched. He can get knocked out himself. He goes in there headhunting and trying to put everything he has full force from the start of the fight. Is it entertaining? Absolutely. I think, he's certainly an exciting fighter, but I mean, really all it takes is a navigation of what he brings to the fight, and you can have the fight that you want pretty well, maybe 2.5 minutes into it. I mean, like, that's all that it takes. Now, what I would ask is, if you want to look it up, Chase, how many knockouts does Daniel Rodriguez have on his record?
Daniel Rodriguez on his pro record has 9 KOs, only been KO'd once. Fun fact, only been submitted once either. So, I mean, 2 finishes on his career at age 39.
So, I mean, look, that being said here, it's like, if he's not a guy that's going down, I mean, look, you can definitely say Uros Medic has the power that he has not felt before, but he's been in there with strikers. I mean, this is a dude he's been through the ringer with some of these fights. That Kevin Holland fight was one that went pretty, 2 ways at certain points. Now, Kevin Holland, not necessarily the biggest knockout guy on the planet necessarily, but he, certainly a dude who's a tenured veteran of this sport 10 times over. I mean, Daniel Rodriguez has seen the inside of this sport. He can navigate an onslaught early, I would say. And Uros Medic being a dude who can get knocked out, I don't know if Daniel Rodriguez is going to be the guy to pull it off that exact way. It might end up going a little bit longer. Maybe he goes for a takedown and makes it more of a wrestler's affair. Either way, though, I don't think that D-Rod is going to be another one of the instant knockout victims of Uros Medic. It doesn't track in my mind that that's the case.
Daniel Rodriguez has a unanimous decision over Platinum Mike Perry. So let that sink in real quick. Is Uros Medic as much of a killer as Platinum Mike Perry? Because I would argue no, and Daniel Rodriguez handled him. So what is Uros Medic going to do outside of the first round? I'm not too positive, but in the main event for 5 rounds, for a guy who just got out of a Mexican prison's diet and nutrition, I gotta go Medic here. I mean, I cannot take Daniel Rodriguez, unfortunately.
Damn. Okay. Well, I mean, even with all of that, huh? I think that.
Dude,
yeah,
how it's, and I'm not trying to sway you. I hope you stand on business with your pick. Everybody out there know that we have differential picks at times, and if you like the person's picks that's different, I don't fucking know. Just like the stream, just do your thing. But the point is, you don't want to be that guy that took the guy who was in prison for 6 months. Like, I know it's cool to see the videos of him doing the little workouts in prison, but guys, Uros Medic is a world class athlete. He's had the best gyms, the best sports science. He's good. Daniel Rodriguez was eating very, very good for prison, but I'm skeptical to believe that that was the best environment for him to be to have
Yeah,
before he literally. But
he's
that
been
was
out now
only.
though.
It's been like 2 months. It hasn't been that long.
2 solid months back in the gym getting ready for this fight, full camp. Come
I
on, brother.
I hear you. I listen. It's called Prison Fit Chase. He's built different. You guys are right. I'm underestimating what prison can do for a fighter, but I would just like to believe that that is not the route you need to take to go ahead and win like your first 5 round main event. But I'll leave it.
I am standing on business with this one. I'm going Rodriguez, and I'll tell you why. Because what I've seen out of Uros Medic is exactly as I've just described it. It's just the striking. We have not seen any. I mean, like, yeah, we've maybe seen one or two fights where he's had to have a little adversity before he finds the shot when he does win his fights. We've also seen him knocked out a ton of times. If Rodriguez has been knocked out one time in his entire career, he can navigate the early onslaught. I think that he's going to be able to drag this out a little bit farther. And I mean, even with being a little bit older, which, yeah, I mean, 39 years old, that's not the greatest when it comes to this sport. But I think that he's going to be able to keep the cardio up enough to overcome the early attacks of Uros Medic. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen here, because Uros Medic does not have anything beyond the killer be killed. So it's like, once you are past the point of you can be the killer, you become the killed.
And I think for to that point, what I will say is if it comes down to it, Daniel Rodriguez, his age should show earlier than what Uros Medic's cardio is going to do. Daniel Rodriguez should gas out sooner. If the fight goes longer, he should start to wear quicker than what Uros Medic should, just based on the age. And Uros Medic is, hungrier. He's on his way up. Daniel Rodriguez, he he's at the mountaintop now. He's out of prison, guys. I mean, he's already done it. So losing this fight won't change the world, but it would be a pretty cool story if he won, because they'll talk about his new mixtape or some shit that's coming out. But the fact of the matter is I want to take the young, hungry guy. If nobody gets knocked out early, I want to take the young, hungry guy that's going to be able to pull this out. And Daniel Rodriguez did just work over Kevin Holland, who I'm a pretty big fan of. But I don't know, guys. There's just I cannot keep falling into the same pattern of picking the guy that I really think can do it, but then all the signs on paper show you that why he's probably not going
But
to.
it's not all of the signs on paper. This is you have your own trap, Chase.
Mm,
It's the age. It's always the age, and you know that. And I'm not saying that you're wrong, because often the age being a huge factor is certainly that absolutely tracks. But I think that there is more extenuating circumstances that are being glossed over with this specific fighter. Because I
mm.
like Uros Medic, and I like when he is exciting. He is really fun to watch, man. I love seeing this guy get his knockouts. He's good on the microphone as well. I would like to see him succeed again. He had this fight night created for him. This is taking place in Belgrade, Serbia, where he is from. He made this happen for himself. I would hate to see him lose in front of his home crowd. But I think that the way that he fights dictates the way that this goes. And I mean, because, like, what do you think he's going to do when he can't knock out Rodriguez? That's my question.
No, it'll be interesting. I definitely agree. I mean, if he doesn't knock him out early, it's gonna be something we haven't seen yet from Uros Medic. But he has the hands. I mean, you just have to adapt your game style to not like your game style, your play style to not go in there and just look for that first instant kill. You got to go in there and you got to work it. You gotta scale for 5 rounds. If you don't get it early, hey, you got to figure something else out. So I want to believe that Uros Medic will be able to do something. But at the end of the day, he'll probably just knock him out in round one. Let's go for it.
All right, lock it in then. We will see. I'm betting big on my guy D-Rod to be able to weather that storm, and it's sad to say, because I think that I do like Uros Medic, and if he gets the knockout, I will be happy about that. But I don't think he has much to offer besides the round one knockout, and that's what I'm hanging my hat on here.
And the last thing that I'll note, since there's just a little extra time, of course, Daniel Rodriguez, what I will say to his whole situation of where he ended up, he had gone missing for a good amount of time where people did not actually know where he was. This is actually a decent end to the story. I mean, it could have been 10 times worse for this dude. Who knows exactly what reality was for him, but like he made it out. Now he's headlining a UFC card. So I want to give him major props.
Yeah, I was going to say, we were just talking about Ramzan Timarov, having to sit out for steroids and coming back to a good equation. At least this is Rodriguez, having like heavy adversity in his life and then coming back, and now he's on. He's on a main event, so good deal there. Although, if I'm not mistaken, Rodriguez is also a steroid cheat, is he not?
I'm not sure, but
I think that he might have gotten popped at one point. Either way, a long time ago now. But
he was just in prison. Come on, let's
not
hold him
but way before that.
Too many things.
Before that, but either way, yeah. So all right, I guess we're locked in. Then we're good to go.
Kick a man while he's down. Yeah, we are good. Medic has got this.
All rise.
All right, Medic versus Rodriguez.
We're gonna find out.
Fight just started right there.
To win so bad because that's a crazy story, man. For him, and if he wins, it is going to be an impressive fashion.
53, 52, 51, 4 minutes, 50 seconds right there for you.
It's impressive to get past this dude striking.
All right. Oh, big leg kick. Just took the legs out from Uros real quick.
Or take the shots.
But he's back to his feet. Teep kick from Uros.
This is a crazy fight, man.
Oh, Jesus. Well, killer be killed. Shout out to Uros, brother. That's a fucking beanbag.
Oh, that boy got a beanbag.
That's a beanbag. And what did I say? What did I say for D-Rod? All you had to do was last 2 minutes and 30 seconds. You couldn't fucking defend that. You couldn't defend. You couldn't get out of the way. You couldn't level change. You just stood there and took the punches. God damn it. Shout out to Uros, man. That's a nice win. Oh, shit. What the fuck?
We got a flare in the
There's a fire in the crowd. Dude has a fucking a flare going off in the crowd. That is a serious danger. Like, that's legitimately dangerous. Start a fucking fire in that venue. That would be traumatic.
All those prisoners that were just watching this. True.
I didn't say that he wouldn't be knocked out. I said he'd only been knocked out once in his career, and all he had to do was last for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Sadly, he did not last for 2 minutes and 30 seconds, thus he got knocked out.
All rise.
Bring us right to the main event of this thing, and what a main event it was. Of course, Serbia had been down on the card for a little while here, and a couple of regional guys, and I mean, not just Serbia, but guys of the region, a couple of losses coming into this main event, but Uros Medic fought Daniel Rodriguez to turn the ship around for the hometown, and he did it very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, the best part about this card really was when you started locking into the main card and you did get the Daniel Rodriguez promos and you started getting the commercials with him talking about the story. And it truly is inspirational. Like, it is crazy to think that, because they actually had when you started the main card, they had a promo package that was like a chopped up version of what we watched earlier in the card. There was a long extended version. And there was a part where he said he was in like a holding cell for like 13 days. And when he saw the judge, he said, come back in 2 months. And he was like, I realized then, like, I'm fucked, guys. Like, and that was really like crazy to hear. Cause like, I'm like, damn, you hear all these stories about, all other countries and how things can go down and what can happen. And it sounded like really bad, So I feel like it was inspirational to think that like, oh, he just got out of prison off of something that really wasn't even like a blah 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 blah. Here he is, he's been training, but it was unfortunately this is not a fairy tale. We don't live in the world where you could just come out of prison for 8 months and then just run the fucking mixed martial arts world. People have been training their asses off for this moment. They have been waiting for their main event spot. They have been guaranteed that they would headline that card. And so Uros Medic, I think, is just a byproduct of being ready, staying ready, and knowing that your time's going to come. Like, your card is coming up. You have been told you're the headline. You just got to find an opponent, and you're a striker. All you got to do, hone in on your skills, because whoever's going to come across you, what you have to do is just obliterate them in the first round. So, I don't know. I thought that, goddamn, I cannot stop. Go ahead. Let me drink something.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, I certainly agree that the Mexican prison story is very compelling, and it's very interesting. You know, I still have not listened to the podcast that he did with Dom Cruise yet to hear all of the intimate details of it, but the video package was, again, compelling and interesting. Um, I don't think that is a good enough excuse in my book. He's been out. He's supposed to be a main event fighter. If he's gotten this call up, why did you put him in this main event for this to be how this outcome was? If not to have the hometown guy just get this easy, quick victory. I don't think that it should have been that. What I had said was that Daniel Rodriguez, all he needed to do was survive for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. He needed to make it to the halfway point of round number 1, and then the dynamics would have been different. Uros Medic is a kill or be killed fighter. We talk about this all the time. He is a killable fighter because of that. So all you have to do is wait out the early aggression and get him into the place that you want him. Rodriguez only able to last the 30 seconds. Really unfortunate to me. I would have thought that, like, if you had even done a modicum of research on Uros Medic, you would have known. Now, I understand Rodriguez is not some kind of, a world-class wrestler over here, but you are the bigger guy. Go in there, bear hug him, and try to get him to the ground, at least to tire him out a little bit. Wear his arms down. Do something aside from trying to stand with this guy who is obliterating opponents if you let him. It really bothered me for that. I said, people talk about the Uros Medic side of this, and it certainly is great. That's what Uros Medic does. This is not surprising to me. The story to me is the Rodriguez side thinking that he could stand with him in the early part of this fight. Game plan was off.
Game plan was definitely off. I mean, but it is one of those things again where what if he did just eat that flurry? Like he probably was going to win that fight. It's one of those you just got to find out for yourself. He fucked around and found out for sure. Medic came out with a crazy combo, lit him up, kneed him in the stomach, kicked him while he was down. Let's be fair. I think this was Jason Herzog again.
I believe so.
He was ready to stop this fight. He was ready to get a first round finish from Medic because Daniel Rodriguez wasn't even laying on the mat for not even 2 milliseconds before he was ready to stop this. Like, again, he probably wasn't going to get up. Maybe he would have. We've seen crazier things, but all I know is that in the hometown of Serbia, they wanted to go out on a bang, and Jason Herzog, he knew what he had to do, brother.